Well, the Standard Bank Group is doing its bit to support the South African growth story and has launched the 10% Millionaires Movement in response to the high unemployment rate and an array of socio-economic issues working against the youth of South Africa. The purpose of the movement is to create an empowered mindset and offer the country's young people tools and ways to write their own future by saving towards their first 100,000 rands, which is of course 10% of R1,000,000, whether it's through studying, hustling or dreaming big. Joining us to talk more about this is Lindy-Lou Alexander, Standard Bank's brand and marketing head for consumer and high net worth business. Thank you very much, Lindy-Lou, for joining us. Let's start with this. What exactly would it mean for the economy if, let's say, 1,000 youths were able to actually become 10% millionaires?
Evening, Xolani. That would be phenomenal because given the economy and what we're looking at, we know that the youth are looking for opportunities. So if we could inspire and enable 1,000 10%ers, as we call them, that would start a movement and a change. Standard Bank wants to be part of the growth journey and the solutions, and the youth are hungry. So for the youth, for every 10%er, they are hiring other 10 people that are creating a change for their communities and their families. So this is only the beginning of a longer journey where we're saying, let's support the youth of South Africa and let's help be part of the growth story for South Africa by enabling them and giving them platforms and working with them. So it is the one small contribution in terms of helping uplift the eager youth who are the majority of the population. And you and I both know this is what they need right now.
South Africa is not well known for being the best savers, in the world. When it comes to the challenges of saving, South Africa is really among the countries where it's really, really hard to save in such an economy. But Standard Bank seems to be confident that this is possible.
So it's an African issue. It's not only a South Africa issue that when you are living on the breadline from hand to mouth, savings is not what you would think of. Yet post the pandemic, everyone is rethinking how they spend their money. So the conversation is ripe now. We need to have the conversation. And at Standard Bank, we have the advisors and we have the tools. And we are taking this as our responsibility in terms of educating the consumers of South Africa and our customers by saying to them, let's have this conversation. We know that you don't have a lot, but starting with 10 Rand or 5 Rand, like I started when I was young, Xolani, it's someone needs to nudge you. And post a pandemic, everyone has lived off fewer and little, and everyone is scrutinizing their budget. Everyone is interrogating it, even if it is a small amount. So there's no better time than now to start having the savings conversation, and our bank is the one that is going to be brave and partner with the consumers in South Africa about this difficult topic called savings.
This is clearly something that South Africa needs, but why does Standard Bank feel that such a campaign is needed right now?
Youth are the majority, 70% of our population, and we know that the youth can garner movement very quickly. It is our responsibility to partner with them, and by enabling them to say 100,000, which is only 10% of a million, is a small baby step. And a lot of young youth come to us when they're looking for sponsorship. And what we are now saying is we're going to partner with you and we're going to disrupt and create opportunities. So if you come to us as a supplier and you want us to do an event, we are actually asking you how many youth are in your value chain and create a space for a youth caterer or for a youth person to sell their T-shirts and make sure that you give them an opportunity. So we've taken on the task to say, like, let's partner with them because we want to make 10%ers in the country. So, and that is why it is important, because we have a voice And we can create the change by partnering with them and partnering with other partners in the country that are also worried about the same thing.
7 out of 10 youths in the country, according to the statistics that were released this week, do not have jobs. Standard Bank clearly has solutions in mind in how to encounter or tackle the unemployment crisis that the youth faces. Let's talk about those solutions.
So the 7 out of 10 youths that have no opportunity, the starting point is education. So we've got a big education drive, but we're also partnering with partners to say, actually, not everyone needs to go through a traditional path of education. There are short courses. We need more artisans. We need more people to become entrepreneurial and people to start creating their own smaller economies in the township or in their communities. So that is how we're doing that. But we also, for those that do have an income, have solutions like Pure Save or some one accounts and a MyMo account, which is $4.95. So we have the offers, but importantly, we have the advisors that will advise anyone from a small mama to a big investor. So we are saying Standard Bank is ready for this conversation, and we are committed because we believe that this Africa is our home, and we will drive her growth, and that is why we are so passionate and determined to sponsor and support this growth story for the country.
Lindy-Lou, let's talk about how this 10% millionaire movement in the campaign relates to encouraging the youth.
It says to them, we all have dreams, and all your dreams matter. And when you're in that stage of your life, when you think of 1 million, it seems so far. And so we said, let's break it down and say, you can be a 10%er. A 10%er is 100,000 rand of 1 million. That's essentially the mathematics of it. And we are saying, work towards your first 100,000. So we're breaking it down in small bite sizes, and we're saying, let's join the movement and say that I can be a 10%er because it's a more achievable part of the dream. So, and that is why this movement is important. And we believe the youth are listening. Just from the short while we've gone out into the market, the youth are saying, okay, someone is understanding me. And this is why it is really critical, because everyone's dreams matters at Standard Bank, because it can be for all of us.
Let's talk about the long-term purpose for Standard Bank when it comes to this 10% millionaires campaign. And many people are asking, how long would it actually take me to save 100,000 rands?
It will be different for every different youth, for every different person. So it's a long-term journey. So it's not an overnight success story that will be written. But what we're saying is actually let's start this journey and start the conversation. In terms of where to from here, Standard Bank, we have been around for 163 years, and we are the biggest bank on the continent. So this is our commitment. It's a long journey, but it's a journey that we're excited to take on. So it's only the beginning of the 10%ers journey.
And the youth are that important to Standard Bank when it comes to this particular campaign?
The youth are critical to Standard Bank, but the youth are critical to our continent. So, the future is theirs to be taken, and if we don't partner with them, they will change things for all of us.
Well, it seems Standard Bank is truly, it believes in young people across the country and the continent. And for those who are sitting at home, they should make sure that they should actually visit the Standard Bank website, standardbank.co.za/let's push for information and resources available on how you can make your first 100,000 rands. Lindy-Lou, thank you very much for joining us this evening.